New Toyota. That's complimentary oil changes, tire rotations, roadside assistance, inspections, and much more standard on all Hasselton Toyotas. And you still get our lifetime warranty. Experience why we sold more Toyotas in Rochester last year than anyone. For details, visit HasseltonToyota.com or call 1-866-422-9870.
Sports Radio 950 ESPN, Rochester's sports leader. Worldwide leader in sports.
About that time, y'all.
This is the Scott Van Pelt Show on ESPN Radio and ESPNradio.com.
Swaddle and Sylvie in for Scott and Ryan on the Scott Van Pelt Show for everything Chicago sports, including a daily Chicago Sports Center. Log on to ESPNChicago.com. How about this story, Waddle? Jeff Eagles claiming that Plexico Burris stole his number. Stole it. Back in... go to jail for that. Is that why he's incarcerated? Serving another year in jail. This is Jeff Eagles' number. He's in jail not because of the gun charge, actually because he stole Jeff Eagles' jersey number. Yeah, no, not the case. But back in 05, I guess Burris wanted the number 17, and that was worn by punter Jeff Eagles. So Burris and Eagles struck up one of those deals that a lot of players do. In exchange for giving up the number 17, Eagles would have some work done on his home, paid for by Burris. He wanted to redo his kitchen or something like that.
Why wouldn't he just say, you know what, give me 10 grand cash, small bills, delivered to my house in whatever travel bag you'd like? Why does it have to be outdoor kitchen paraphernalia?
I don't know. Outdoor kitchen paraphernalia.
Well, that's what it says. The two struck a deal that the punter would turn over the number in exchange for an outdoor kitchen. How about just 10 grand in cash and I'll go buy my own outdoor
buy
kitchen?
whatever I want for it.
Yeah.
Eagles told SI.com that he tried talking to both Burris and his agent, Drew Rosenhaus, about it, and neither one of them would honor the commitment Burris made.
Well, I don't know if you know this, but it's kind of hard to get a hold of Plexico in the Hooskow, as they call it.
Can you imagine the first day that Plexico Burris gets released from prison? Whether he's doing a work release program or maybe finally just finishes out his sentence. There's Jeff Eagles standing outside.
Where's my outdoor kitchen?
He's got an apron on with a spatula, ready to do some cooking. All right, now, where's my kitchen?
I think Plexico Burris actually has bigger fish to fry, as they say right now. Don't worry about the outdoor kitchen when he gets everything else taken care of.
But Jeff Eagles just wants to fry fish on his new kitchen oven or grill or whatever. Whatever you fry, I guess it would just be on your burner.
Yeah, just throw something on there.
All right, he's Waddle. I'm Sylvie. In for Scott Van Pelt on the Scott Van Pelt Show on ESPN Radio.
WROC Rochester, part of the Intercom Marketing Results Group, and now worldwide at Sports Radio 950 ESPN.com. The only 24/7 sports source in Western New York is your only source for football news all season long.
Single life is treating Tiger Woods pretty well on the golf course. More on that in a bit. But first, the Bills are back practicing in Orchard Park. And Coach Jim Daly announced that Force will be #1 on the depth chart for preseason game number 3. Eric Wood is expected to play a little longer than Demetrius Bell on the offensive line, but both will see time with the first-team offense. If you wanted to see Terrell Owens return to Buffalo, you'll have to do it in person. The Bills taking on Cincinnati will not be shown on television on Saturday. The game has been officially blacked out, and it will air Sunday night on Channel 7 at 8 o'clock. It's the only preseason game at Ralph Wilson Stadium this year. And at the Barclays, Tiger Woods impressed in his first tournament that he has been single since October 2004, shooting a 665 for a share of the lead with Vaughn Taylor. Woods had 4 birdies on the front 9, 3 on the back with a bogey in the first of 4 FedEx Cup tournaments. Hockey news, the Sabres acquired some organizational depth, signing forward Colin Stewart to a 1-year deal. Stewart played in Abbotsford in the AHL last season. He scored 17 goals and added 19 assists in 67 games. International League, a loss last night to the Bison, but again, they remain 2 games behind Columbus for the final wild card spot. Buffalo hits the road for 5 games in 4 days in Syracuse tonight for a 7 o'clock first pitch. Rochester begins a 4-game homestand with Pawtucket, and that is first pitch tonight at 5. Looking at the Major League schedule, not a whole lot of games. Only 9 going on today. 2 in action right now. Top of the 7th, the Astros lead the Phillies 4-1. Carlos Lee has his 18th homer of the year, and the Dodgers up 1-0 on the Brewers. That is in the bottom of the 3rd. I'm Dale Wojciechowski for the latest in Bills news. Keep it here every 20 minutes.
Get more sports online at sportsradio950ESPN.com. This is Sports Radio 950 ESPN.
I tried to call him.
He was calling.
Mike Schupp and the Bulldogs.
Instead of them, and him.
He got something that frightened even the self-proclaimed mountain man.
It's Mike Schupp.
This thing was 10 foot tall. He had beautiful hair.
The Bulldogs.
And I said, get away from here. Get. And you went right back at that passage.
It's Mike Schupp and the Bulldogs.
Hi, everybody. Bulldog is still on vacation. Trey Edwards, it's been reported now, will start preseason game number 3. This can't come as a surprise to any Bills fan paying attention. This probably has to be, unless he's hurt. I think you'd be smart not to totally rule out. I guess that's true of anybody. This probably means he'll start the opener against Miami. Come on, right? There's no way he goes to the back of the depth chart after the 3rd preseason game. I want to take you through this, meaningless as it really might be to do it. I woke up this morning, and at some point early in the day, I start to think about work. And whatever is going on in the sports world, like a lot of times a good idea will come to me, a lot of times it won't, and I'll just have to go about it a different way, like more mechanically. And today was one of those days. Nothing really seemed too obvious to me to do, or something I was, had been wanting to do. And so I went into just, trying to figure it out. What should I do? And I thought about Trent. And I thought about a conversation I had recently with a friend about Trent Edwards. And the person said, well, he's never been the same since that Arizona game. 2 years ago, week 5, Bills Cardinals. By the way, yes, I should say it again. That was only 2 years ago. Bills and Cardinals, Adrian Wilson hits Edwards on the 3rd or 4th play of the game. The stats from that game, 3 for 3, 18 yards. Then he was concussed on a brutal hit, helmet to helmet, or helmet to jaw, maybe. Adrian Wilson on Edwards. I'm sure most of you remember it. So the Bills went on to lose that game big. They've been 4-0. They lose big in Arizona. And then they have a bye week. And it's enough time for Edwards to recover. And he plays against San Diego in a game that is probably best remembered for the power outage in the stadium that forced CBS off the air, or at least the broadcast of the game by CBS off the air. The Bills won. Edwards was fabulous that day. Hardly any of us saw it, or much of it. You had to be there, just like this game coming up on Saturday. 25 for 30. 261 yards, 1 touchdown, passer rating 114, final score 23-14, Bills over San Diego to go to 5-1. They would then lose 4 in a row, the 4th being that Monday night game against Cleveland, which is one of the low points for Edwards. 4 weeks later, 3 interceptions early in that game. Late in the game, Bill still with a chance to win against the lowly Browns, and he seemed a different guy, didn't he? And he has seemed, even though we're not yet into this season, he has seemed like that guy since. And I just don't know that we have a consensus on what happened to Trent Edwards. There's pretty much, I think, a consensus